Okay, everyone. Thank you for coming on. This is the Team FitRevolution weekly team call. And we have Emma and Alexa. Emma Owen and Alexa Leckenbach here on the team call with us. They're going to talk about how events have impacted their business. So things like Summit, Super Saturdays, things like that. And Alexa is a 4-star diamond coach, and Emma is a 1-star diamond coach. And they are freaking rock stars, so I'm sure you're going to have a lot to take away. So I'll hand it over to them. I'll mute myself, and you guys take it away. Go for it.
Awesome. Thanks, Libby. So hi, everybody. We are super excited to talk about one of our favorite topics, which is events. And Emma and I are excited to chat just because we were talking earlier this week about how we have been to every event together. Well, at least for me, because you've been coached a little bit longer than I have. So you've been to, I think you went to a couple Super Saturdays before I did. But every event that I've been to, I've gone with Emma. And both local events and bigger events, you know, all different types of events, they've really had a big impact on us as coaches. And so we just really wanted to share that with you guys tonight. So, you know, a couple of points that we want to start off with, you know, the biggest one, obviously, that we always talk about, new coaches probably know all about Summit and have heard about Summit. And I know for me, when I first signed up to be a coach, Summit was one of the first things that I heard about. I remember seeing a video that our upline coach, Sarah Try, had posted, and she was just sharing about how we need to be at Summit if moving your business forward is something that's important to you. And I, as a brand new coach, this was literally like the month that I had signed up, or not signed up, but the month that I had actually committed to my business and decided that I wanted to go. So I wasn't making very much money in my business, but I watched that video and I knew when I went all in with this that I wanted to do whatever it took to make my business grow so I could quit my job. And so hearing about how important Summit was and how it had the impact to really change my life and change my business really was something that I really took to heart. And so for me, what I did was my first paychecks that I was getting as a coach, I just put into a separate, you know, savings account. And I just saved up until I could buy my Summit ticket with my Beachbody income. And I worked my butt off to, you know, grow my Beachbody paychecks so that I could get to Summit, basically. That was the first thing that I really did with my business and with my paycheck. So for those of you who maybe are like, well, you know, this is an investment, I don't know. I mean, it's all the way over across the country for those of us on the West Coast in Nashville. And I know that that is not cheap to fly over there. So for those new coaches who have been thinking about that, or anybody really who's been thinking about that, that's what I first did. I put my Beachbody income 100% towards that event because I knew that it was something that was important to me. Emma, I don't know if you want to jump in about, you know, Summit and deciding that you wanted, you know, when you first decided that you wanted to go to Summit when you were a coach.
Yeah, so when I first joined, they actually came out with, I think it was the month of, or maybe the month right after I had joined, if you hit Success Club 5 within your first 3 months, you get your free ticket to Summit. And I was like, yeah, that's like $300 right there. So of course I'm going to help 3 people a month so that I can get my free ticket. And I did it. And so that was a huge weight lifted off my shoulders because I didn't have to pay for that ticket. I only had to put money towards a plane ticket and a hotel. And, you know, with the hotel, you split it between 4 other ladies. So really that was about, I think it really wasn't even that much coming down. So like Alexis said, I planned out, you know, once I knew that I earned that ticket for free, I was planning out, okay, how much money do I need to be saving so that, you know, obviously you have to buy your plane ticket a little bit more in advance. So that's something you don't have to worry about, you know, the month of. And same, you could, you know, you obviously can pay for, I think, you know, your hotel there. But for me, and any of you guys who have newer coaches who have just started, I really encourage talking about earning your free ticket to Summit because that's a huge weight that gets lifted off their shoulders, especially if you want to make it happen or you know they want to make it happen and it's one of their goals. So it's just something cool that Beachbody offered. If everyone can make sure they're muted. Sorry, I think someone just jumped on.
That would be
But
nice.
yeah, so Libby, you can right click on their screen. I can't. But there you go. Okay, so really that was my initial thing about getting to Summit was I earned it for free, and so I kind of just had to go. It was kind of like, well, why not?
Yeah, for sure. Summit was like definitely the first big event that I went to as a coach, and so that kind of brings me to the next thing that Lauren wanted us to talk about is what Summit really did for our businesses. So, like I said, I don't think I went to Super Saturday before. I think Summit was my first Beachbody event. And honestly, you guys, I had such high expectations for Summit because like I said, I had heard from my upline coaches how awesome it was and how it had the potential to really change my business. And so I actually remembered thinking before I went to Summit, it was in Las Vegas, I was like, man, I hope this event is really as awesome as these people keep saying that it is. And you guys, it was better than what they were saying. For me, I love this business and I love talking about it. And so to be around just thousands of other Beachbody coaches and other people who get what we're doing and who are working towards the same things that you are, I mean, that energy is just contagious. For me, I think the biggest thing that I love about events is not even necessarily like the events themselves, like, the seminars and the trainings and all that stuff is obviously amazing. But more than anything, what really impacted me about Summit was meeting the team for the first time, being able to sit down at dinner and talk to the person next to me, somebody from across the country that I only knew through Facebook, like actually being able to meet these people that you see on Zoom once a week, and in person. It's so much fun. And really, like I said, it's just, the energy is contagious. And so that was the biggest thing that I took from Summit was just how awesome it was to be together, be in one place with the team and just meet all these people that I was learning from, people on my team, my upline coaches, all that kind of stuff. But on top of that, oh yeah, sorry.
No, it just made, I totally agree with everything you said. I think it just made it so much more real. And like you said, walking around with all those people, it was so cool to see that we're all different. We all have differences and, because we only see certain people on Facebook. We don't see everyone. And so it was just really cool to be able to really walk through the halls of the MGM Grand and, last year Nashville, but just seeing everyone, you knew what we were and we all wear our little name tags and stuff. But
yeah, for sure. And what's really great about Summit is it's such an awesome event because, it's the biggest event that Beachbody puts on. You get a chance to meet the trainers that oh my God, my dog is being so loud. Sorry if you guys can hear her in the background. You get to meet the Beachbody trainers that you work out with every single day and, get to hear these amazing trainings from some of the top coaches in the business and be able to walk around Nashville and be like, oh, there's Amy Silverman. I'm obsessed with her. I stalk her Instagram every day, and be able to see those people. Summit is literally just, I can't go on enough about it. It really was the game changer event that I was hoping and expecting when I was a new coach. And even this last year in Nashville, it was awesome. It was just as awesome to have my team there with me for the first year. But yeah, so that's a little bit about Summit. And you guys, like I said, if you haven't gotten your ticket, if you haven't even thought about it, sit down and think about your goals as a coach, what you want to get out of your business. Because if you are at all wanting to grow this into something significant, being at Summit should definitely be one of your priorities, for sure.
Can I just ask, I think I know the answer. I know Ariel and Amber were there. Who else was at Summit this year? Was anyone else on this call at Summit for the first time? This was both your guys' first time, right? Oh, and Libby. I know Libby was out there too. Yeah, so I mean, and I know they both had a blast. We were all hanging out together, and they made it happen. These things are sacrifices. I just have to say, I went to Summit the first year with $300 to my name. But I made it happen because I knew that the things I was going to get out of it was just 10, so many. It was just gonna. I like Alexa said, I heard from my uplines what it was going to do for me, and I just trusted them. Sorry, Bentley's in here. But I just want you to know it's a sacrifice. It definitely is. But it's the best thing you could ever do for your business.
Yeah.
So you get what you pay for out of it.
Totally. So yeah, so along with Summit, you know, obviously that is the biggest Beachbody event, and it's a little bit far off. We have like 10 months or something till Summit. So for those who don't know, we have coming up here in the next couple weeks, Super Saturday, which is another event that Beachbody puts on once a quarter, and it's a local event. So totally different from Summit in every way. It's a lot smaller. It really is, you know, just is involving the coaches that are local to you. Some Super Saturdays are even held in people's living rooms. It's just like a little get together. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller, but you guys are Super Saturdays all across the country. So if you go to your Coach Online office and click on the News and Training tab, and then click on the events link that comes in the drop-down menu, there's a link that says Super Saturday. You can click on that and see where a Super Saturday is being held near you. But just like Summit, you guys, I think that Super Saturday is just as important, because once again, it's an amazing event that brings us all together, especially your local team. It's so awesome to be able to, you know, be around all of the other local coaches, and Beachbody usually always has some sort of cool announcements. They always have some sort of trainings. It's like a little mini summit, and it's just, once again, it's just a really great way to motivate you as a coach. I think for me, anytime that I'm around a bunch of coaches, it just makes me so excited. You know what I mean? We love to talk about what we do, and to be around other like-minded people who also get this. Like I said before with Summit, it's awesome. And I love to be around that energy. And once again, if you're somebody who's maybe like hit a slump in your business, or you need some more motivation or something, man, get yourself to Super Saturday, because like I said, it's just another way to help, you know, help build that momentum, you know, and build that motivation, and just catch that energy from the people around you, from the local team that is near you. So, Emma, do you have anything to add?
Yeah,
Emma's actually playing the Seattle Super Saturday. Her and Lauren have taken the reins on our local Super Saturday, and I'm so excited to go to that one in a couple weeks.
We're the MCs. That's going to be pretty fun. I've never MC'd anything, so I'm happy I'm doing it with Lauren, because I think that will be really good together. But so I just have to say, my first Super Saturday was 6 months before Summit that I went to, and it was in January. And so when I went, it was in Kirkland. It was at like a really small community center, and there was probably like 150 people there, maybe 100. It was a lot smaller than they are now. And it was pirate themed. I had no idea. I showed up in my workout gear because I thought it was a like Beachbody event. Like, hey, we all work out, you know? They did like a pirate skit. Okay, like it was very bizarre, but I have to say that I heard Megan Ewaldson speak at that Super Saturday. That was like my turning point, is when I heard her talk. She was brand new, basically, kind of, I think she started a few months before me, and she had been taking off, and I just remember hearing her story, and about a month later, I went diamond. And that really lit a fire under my butt. And I wasn't expecting anything. I just went, I think I went with Stacy and Carrie, actually. And so I just, even if you're afraid to go, even if you have no idea who's going there, even if it, like Alexa said, it's in someone's basement, or, you know, in their garage or whatever, just go, because you're going to hear people's stories regardless of if there's 200 people or there's 10 people. They're gonna share a story, and that story might resonate with you. So if you don't have a big event around you, just still look and see. Maybe creep on the host a little bit, like on Facebook, just to see who it is. But these are the things you can go to for so cheap. Costs basically nothing to go to, and you're getting so much content out of it. So like, don't wait for Summit. You know what I mean? Like, don't wait for these things. Get to these events, because you want this momentum, and that's why they have these every 3 months, you know, every quarter. to help you get back into the momentum and to be around all these people like Alexis said. So your first one might be a little weird. You might not, but just go and have fun with it and just see what it's about.
Yeah,
So,
love it. That's awesome. Yeah, so Super Saturday is coming up in a couple weeks, you guys. If you haven't gotten your ticket for wherever your local Super Saturday is, make sure you get on that. Okay? So, the next event that we kind of wanted to touch on, another one that's coming up here in the next couple months that you guys may have heard about is Platinum Edge in Dallas, Texas. And once again, Emma and I made it a priority for ourselves to get to Platinum Edge last year, our first full year as coaches. And, Platinum Edge is definitely a different event. Just so you guys know what this event is, our upline, very, very top of our upline, coach, Christine Dwyer, hosts the Platinum Edge Conference once a year, and she hosts it just for her downline. And let me also touch on the point that Christine has the largest downline in all of Beachbody. I think it's over 150,000 coaches. So
that was like 3 months ago, so it's probably like 200,000 now. She has like over half of Beachbody in her downline.
Exactly. Yeah. She's an amazing leader. And so she puts on this conference just for her downline every year in Dallas, Texas. And you guys, not only are you hearing from, Christine Dwyer, an amazing, 15-star Diamond 2 coach, but there are so many amazing leaders in her downline that you also learn from and hear from on stage. So we heard last year, Janelle Summers, Melissa McAllister, Allie Upham. I mean, these are all just amazing coaches that are there. Shalene Johnson was a guest speaker. I mean, it was an awesome event. It's like a little mini summit. There's probably about like 1,000 people there, I think. And, it's really great because it's a lot more intimate than Summit. Summit is freaking huge. They sold out of 25,000 tickets, before Summit was over this year. So I don't even know how many coaches are going to be in Nashville next year. So, Platinum Edge is like a little mini, more intimate summit. You're still going to get just an amazing trainings. Like I said, you get to work out with Shalene. You get to just, once again, I think that across all events, doesn't matter which event you're getting to, just catching that energy, being around other coaches and being able to talk and bounce ideas off of each other and just learn. Platinum Edge is just a really, really awesome event for that, you guys. So this is specifically for those coaches. If you are someone who's ready to take your business from a hobby to a business, you're one of those coaches who's like, yep, I'm in this. I'm ready to do this full time. I have big goals. If that's you, you should definitely look into getting the Platinum Edge. If not this year, I know it's coming up pretty soon here in the next month or two. But if not this year, make sure that you make it a priority for yourself next year. Okay. So yeah, Platinum Edge, that's another awesome event. And the last one that Emma and I really wanted to touch on is the New Leader Conference. And you guys, this is such a great event, honestly. Emma and I, okay, let me back up a little bit. So the New Leader Conference is held every January. And actually, Emma and I were able to go to the very first New Leader Conference that's ever been held by Beachbody this past year. And takes place in California. It's right near where the Beachbody headquarters is. And this is a trip that you can, it's actually probably, well, not the only trip, but it's one of the few trips that you can only get to by earning it. It's not like Summit where you can buy your ticket, or Super Saturday where you can just buy your ticket. You have to earn your way to the New Leader Conference. And that in itself makes it a really, really special event. I don't know about you, Emma, but like getting my email that I earned my spot there, and I was one of a very small group of coaches that was able to earn that, was awesome. And it's coming up again this coming January. And I should look up what the FAQ is for the the 2016 New Leader Conference. But I know that in order to get an invitation, you have to hit 2-star by the end of this year. So for those of you coaches who are working towards 2-star by the end of the year or Premier, just know that getting to the new leader conference is another perk of hitting 2-star at the end of the year that can really help your business. It was awesome. We were also able to earn our hotel for free. So this was our first completely free Beachbody event that we were able to go to. And it was literally so much fun, you guys. So we get into California, and Emma and I were able to go to this beautiful hotel. We went outside and we had lunch. Oh my gosh. And so then we go up to our hotel room. And the first thing when we go down to the first event, they have, all this stuff laid out for us. We got this cool free backpack, and it had all these free things in it. And you guys, it was like, they really did treat us like above and beyond my expectations. I did not pay, the only thing I paid for this event was my plane ticket. So I didn't pay for my ticket. I didn't pay for my hotel because Beachbody covered that. And on top of that, they are like totally just pulled out all the stops for us. We were able to go to the Beachbody headquarters and go on a tour of the headquarters, which was freaking awesome. We were able to try out some Shakeology. We were able to work out with Autumn live before the 21-Day Fix Extreme was even released. We worked out and did a 21-Day Fix Extreme workout with Autumn, which was super freaking cool. And there was parties both nights. There was like a little celebration party that we were able to go to. We were able to take pictures with Autumn, and you guys, it just, once again, there were such amazing trainings from some of the top coaches in the business that were there. We heard from Melanie Mitro, we heard from Tracy Morrow, we heard from Trina Gray. These are all just amazing coaches that have done amazing things and are awesome leaders. And so, this is a new leader conference. So this was for all of those coaches who were just fresh with 2 new diamonds on their team. All of us are learning this leadership thing when it comes to coaching, I'm sure. I don't know about you guys, but I had no sort of leadership training before I became a coach. So for Beachbody to be able to put this event together for us and just completely, like I said, pull out all of the stops for us, it was so cool. It was one of the coolest events that I've been to. And I took so much from it. And more than anything, like I said, I just love to be around other coaches and other coaches that are, going the same place as you. The New Leader Conference was all these new 2-star diamonds. We were all in the same boat. So it was really cool to be able to sit and talk with them and hear from other coaches across the network that were, also building leaders on their team. Emma, do you want to jump in and share about?
Alexa and I had a blast, and like she said, it was so awesome seeing everyone, and it kind of made it more real. Like, it was crazy how small it was and how we really got so much more, kind of one-on-one time, more bonding time. I think there was 4 of us from the team, me, you, Alexis, and Stacy, right? Yeah, so, there's 4 of us, so we kind of were more bonding that way. And, like, Autumn was at our parties. Like, they rented out what was it? It was like a bar kind of thing. Besides the parties and stuff, the training was great. And like you said, it just made it more real, and just seeing everything was cool. I just felt so spoiled. I was like, what is this? Like, it was just really cool because we hadn't been to Cancun yet either. So that was kind of our first event where it was all really spoiled. We really earned that for free. And it was kind of our first event that we earned everything. So that was really cool. And I definitely think we felt very loved, which is appreciated.
Definitely. That's for sure. Yeah. And Cancun, that also, I didn't have that on my list, but you guys,
definitely an event to get.
The Success Club trip is coming up in March of 2016. So I don't know. I'm just so incredibly excited for that. And for the entire team, for those of you who are registered for the cruise, it's so much fun. It's definitely different from a lot of the other trips that Beachbody puts on because it's a Success Club trip. So it's all about celebrating our success from the year before. We all worked all year to earn that trip. And so, there's a couple trainings here and there, but mainly that trip is about having fun with the team and bonding and just having kick-ass time. And so for those of you who are going on the cruise, I'm super excited to be celebrating with you in March, especially because it's going to be my birthday. And so I'm going to be having some extra fun. But also for those of you who maybe aren't planning on going on the cruise, but maybe you want to go on the next Success Club trip, they open up registration and announce the next year's trip every January. So I mean, it's October, November, December, January. I mean, that's only 3 months away. So think about that moving forward, in the next few months. If going on the Success Club trip is something that you want to do next year, they'll be announcing that soon, and you can save your spot for that. So
and make sure, so you guys, you have 3 months to plan for this, and the deposit is normally $250 to $300. So do math right now, figure out how you can put that money aside so you have it waiting in January, because the cruise literally sold out within like 10 seconds. So like it was basically get on there, pick your room, get out. So make sure you have that. If it's something that you want to do, you can bring your family on it. People make this a family trip. You just have to pay a little extra for kids, but you can bring someone for free with you. So just know that it can either be a family thing, or it can just be, yourself, or you can use it as, something for your team. If you don't have a significant other or whatever, use that as a way to be like, hey, I want someone to come with me on my team. Let's do a fun little game or something, a competition, something like that, so they earn their spot to go with you. So just a few ideas, but I would definitely start thinking now if you want that to happen, to be putting that money aside.
Yeah, I totally forgot to touch on that. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, for those who, I talk about this a lot, but my husband and I, our first vacation that we ever went on together was the Cancun Success Club trip this past April. Devin, my husband, actually never even been out of the country, and he had never been on a plane before. So it was pretty freaking awesome for us, because we had never been able to afford to go on a trip together before earning that Success Club trip. And so our first trip was to an amazing resort in Cancun. And not only that, but it was completely paid for. And on top of that, just because I hit Success Club 10 every month in 2014, I was given an extra $750 just to spend in Cancun. You guys, I mean, that was our first vacation that we got to go on. I mean, that's pretty sweet. So I don't know about you guys, but traveling was something that I always wanted to do, and this was our opportunity to take advantage of that in a way that we could travel for the first time and really not worry a ton on expenses. I've never been on a trip like that before. I mean, I could pretty much put that $750 I earned, it more than covered my airfare, and it gave me an extra couple $100 that I was able to spend in Cancun. So if that's important for you, if maybe you and your spouse, or you and, maybe even like your best friend or your mom, whatever, if that's something that you want to do, is travel with somebody close to you, the Success Club trip is a way to do it. So just know that. You don't have to hit Success Club 10 every month to get on the trip, just so I am clear. That was one of the incentives that they had last year. If you hit Success Club 10 every month in 2014, that Beachbody gave you $750 travel cash to spend. So that was like an extra bonus that they put
Alexa, do you know the website for this year? I was trying to find it and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it's ssbeachbody.com. That's the one that's for the 2016 trip.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, ssbeachbody.com.
Yeah, because that'll have it'll have all the rules and stuff in there, and it usually applies for the next year, so you can kind of.
Yeah, and so you guys, just to kind of like wrap up, this call, and just the importance of getting to events. Like I said, I want to touch again on the fact that we understand that this is an investment, both in time and financially. We know that a lot of you guys are moms and you have kids at home, and it's, an investment and a huge sacrifice for you, but just know that it's a short-term investment and sacrifice that's going to benefit you and pay off so much for you in the future. So if it's something that you want to do, I really highly suggest you reach out to your upline coach and say, hey, I decided that I am going to get my butt to Summit this year. I don't know how I'm going to pay for it. Can we come up with a plan so that I can cover my ticket and my costs and everything it's going to take for me to get to Nashville? Can we come up with a plan so that I can earn that through my Beachbody income? You guys, you can create a plan for yourself and get it 100% covered just by helping people, okay? So reach out to your upline coach or sit down and look at what you need to do to make it happen. But you guys, I promise, no matter what, if this is something that's important to you, you can make it happen. Emma always likes to share the story of Lindsay Matway and her first summit. You're better at telling it. But
so you probably all follow Lindsay Matway, and you probably, I don't know if you know, she had her daughter had a 90% chance of cerebral palsy and like a brain bleed when she was born. So she had, all this debt. She had about like $400,000 worth of debt just from her baby being born. And I remember watching a video because I was like, how am I going to pay for Summit? Like, I was a young mom. I was still getting financial help from my parents. It made me feel guilty. It was kind of like, how am I going to do this? And she said, I literally had to sell like my DVD player, my Xbox. Like, she sold all of these things that were just things. You know what I mean? They weren't necessarily valuable things, but she was like, I don't need this because this is so much more important. So she literally sold things to get to her first summit. And I was like, if she can do that and she's in $400,000 of debt, I can make a way there. And, that was the first trip I left Bentley for that long, after having him. And it was hard, but I knew that it was going to pay tenfold for my family later on. And it was a sacrifice I was willing to make then. Like I said, I barely got anything at the shop. I just went to learn the training. It's hard to compare yourself because you see people come out of the shop with 20,000 bags and you're like, man, I wish I could go spend that much money. But this year I got to spend a little more money, so just every year you just get to increase, and it just goes to show, how much, where you can start, and you just grow and you just progressively grow. And it's okay to just go to learn. You don't need to go to do everything. Just go to learn and to just be there with the team and to hang out and to see what it's all about. Because I heard that your income will double every time you go to Summit. I can tell you that's true. So,
that's so true.
Make it happen. But start out small. Super Saturday. It's coming up. There's this one in October, and then there's another one. The next one after that is going to be in January. I think it's like the first weekend in January. So if you can't make it to the one in a few weeks, plan for the one in January. But I highly recommend looking and seeing which one you can get to close to your house. By show of hands, who already is going to the Super Saturday near them? Wow, that's awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I want to hear how it goes. How many of you have been to a Super Saturday before? Okay, 2 of you. Wow, so a lot of you, this is your first Super Saturday. That's awesome. I'm excited for you guys. That's going to be fun. You're going to be able to meet a lot more people around you and meet some new friends. So that's really cool.
For sure. I love it. And you guys, just to wrap up, Lauren wanted us to touch on, how events overall have impacted our business and helped us and where we're at in our businesses today. And I mean, I've said this a couple times, but like I said, I think that more than anything, events really give me a new sense of life in my business every single time. I always come back with a new energy, with new focus, with new, just excitement, I guess. And so we all are going to go through good seasons and bad seasons, awesome months in our business, and really, really hard, shitty months in our business. But I make it a point to get to every single event that I can throughout the year, because whether it's a good month or a bad month, it always just gives me a breath of fresh air. It gives me that new excitement, that new motivation. So no matter where I'm at, I always just kind of get back on the horse, So, I know a lot of you guys, I talk to my coaches all the time about this, but they're like, man, I've just been not motivated to do anything, or I'm in a funk. We all go through those times. And I'm telling you, I make it a point to get to events as much as possible because it always brings my energy back up. It always brings my motivation back up. It gives me new ideas, and that's what's really impacted me in my business. And like I said, I have made it a point to get to every Super Saturday since I've been committed to my business. I got to the Team Triceps retreat. I got to Summit both years. I made it a point to get on the Success Club trip. I went to the New Leader Conference. I went to Platinum Edge. You guys, I went to all these events because I wanted to move my business forward. And each time, every single one of those in a different way just got me motivated again, got me excited. And I don't know. I mean, I'm totally not going to say like going to an event like is what got me to where I am. Obviously there's a lot of like work in there, but I'm telling you it helps. It really does help. It helps you move past, those harder months. And
it helps you relate back. Like when she was talking about, we have all these tips that we get from these things. It helps you relate back to things that you've heard in the past. Like after the first Super Saturday, Alexa and I were sitting in the front row of the Mike Ryan and Tommy Migrant conference, and they were talking about overcoming objections. And what did I do with my notes? I went and made it a 7-minute video for my team. I can post it if you guys want. I have a 7-minute video on everything that they said about overcoming objections. And it's like, so not only do you get these trainings for yourself, but you can add your own spin on it. You can shorten it. You can make a video for your team, especially those who aren't going or can't go, this year, whatever. And when you're in a situation, you're like, oh, but I remember this person at Summit was talking about this. And so it's really good to have other coaches' perspectives and different things to go off of when you're in a funk or when you're in a situation, because they talk about their stories. We've all struggled. We've all had to overcome these things. And so it's just nice to also hear other people's stories and to be able to relate with them from where they were and where they've come, not just seeing posts online. You legitimately get to see them in person. So that's another.
Yeah. Love it. And do you want to touch on anything else, like about how, events in general have helped impact your business and helped you?
I mean, like I said, I just think it's helped with being able to relate back with things and to be able to have more resources. If I wouldn't have gone to that summit, I wouldn't have ever probably seen that, overcoming objections talk.
Is Emma frozen? Oh no. This isn't a very good position for her. That's funny. Okay. But anyways, I'll take
Am I still frozen?
Oh wait, there you are. Yeah. I was like,
what was I frozen as? You should have taken a picture. Dang it. I wanted to see.
Keep going.
Okay, so God, now I'm like all red and hot. I don't even know what phase I was stuck in. But yeah, anyway, so okay. Anyways, yeah, so events are just important in general for me, especially as a mom. Like, I know it's a sacrifice as a mom to leave your kids, to find a babysitter, to find all of those things. I mean, I understand I was on every trip with Alexa these last months, and I'm very thankful for my parents and the support that they have for me in this business, and with watching Bentley and helping me. But I can just say I know that it's a lot. But like Alexa said, I can't tell you that because of these events, it's where I am now. But I do think it has something to do with it, with resources wise and all the information and all the learning that we've done versus only watching YouTube videos. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much
awesome, you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I signed up in December as a coach, and I didn't start like working my business until mid-January because I was like in Maui, and I had like 2 weeks to hit Success Club for the first time to start my Success Starters. And like it helped having Lauren, like pushing me along, but I did it in 2 weeks. Like I hit Success Club 5 and began my Success Starters and then earned my free ticket to Summit or whatever. But like I was not making a lot of money with my business and working here part-time, and like I don't know, I just saved whatever I could and really got rid of like the stuff that didn't matter anymore. I didn't go out to eat as often and things like that. Like I just really like prioritized everything, you know, and put away money because I knew I needed plane ticket and, you know, food there and things like that. And like, I just made it a priority and I made it happen. So, and it's totally doable. It's absolutely doable on a small budget. And I love Summit because it was like, I saw everybody that I'd seen only through Facebook. I didn't, you know, like I got to meet everyone in person. It was just the most amazing experience. And also like with, you know, just like you guys were saying, like these events are like, I don't know, they bring you back to life, honestly. And I'm really excited for October because, or like this next Super Saturday, because September, I don't know about anybody else, but September was rough for me. Like as far like business wise and even personally, you know, like I've had a couple months where I'm just like, man, this is just like a really rough month. And I know, cause I've been to 2 Super Saturdays since I signed up, that it's going to be like revitalizing, you know, and it's so crucial to have those like bring back to life kind of, you know, events and whatever. So, and I'm even more excited that Emma and Lauren are going to MC. It's going to be awesome. You guys are going to be great. Like it's going to be super.
I'm excited because there's going to be a lot of familiar faces too. So I think that will be comfortable.
Well, everybody's going to come and like, you know, want to see you guys and like support you.
Well, I mean, shoot, and Josh and Carly are going to be there. So who would want to miss that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Right. No, it is going to be huge, like having them there and having you guys do it. So I'm really glad. And for my team who's on the call, I'm really glad you guys are going to be there too. So, all right. I'm going to end the call.
Do you have any questions, just really quick?
Yeah, questions.
I know that you guys were asking some in the thread, so I just wanted to make sure that before we stop. No?
Anybody?
Cool.
So I'm going to end the call. You guys can stay on and we'll do the number generator for the prize. So I'm going to end recording. Thanks everyone for getting on. Thanks Emma and Alexa for talking. And yeah, I appreciate it. Okay.